Yes, everyone. Hope we're all good. Welcome to episode 35. A little bit of a World Cup special with the World Cup obviously coming up as we're recording tonight. The first game will be Mexico versus South Africa, which I'm missing because of work, very annoyingly. I'm a little bit ill and I keep coughing, so if I mute or disappear, it's just because I'm coughing up my guts. But yeah, obviously there's not much to talk about Leeds currently, and it's World Cup season, so we're going to chat about the World Cup. But we are going to mention just before that, we are going to have a quick discussion on the retained list that Leeds United put out the other day.
Yep.
I don't think there's too much to discuss on it other than the main one. Obviously, Ilham Meslier has been released, and then it's then mainly about what's going to happen with Byram, Cairns, and Dallo. I think they were the three main ones, right? That I could think off the top of my head.
The only three ones,
yeah.
The only three
so
ones,
there's not too much to talk about, but I think just very briefly we'll just touch on Meslier. I'll just go really quickly on this. I think, there's always a person behind the player. That's a really big thing for me. I don't want to over criticize a player or get personal at all with anyone. It's clear that he's had a bad few years at the club and probably needed to be moved on for his and our sake earlier. He wasn't. I do believe it was a mistake that the manager kept playing him in that bad period, in the promotion season. I don't think it was good for him at all, especially coming from seeing what Darlow's like afterwards, which was very solid. So I don't think that helped in the slightest. But you also have to consider that I think he started really well his time at Leeds United, starting from the FA Cup game at Arsenal and that first season back in the Premier League. We had a lot of shots at us. I remember he made a lot of big saves, and something just got lost within his performance. I think most of it is down to his mentality, coming through as a young keeper in that terrible Leeds side that got relegated and the one before that just stayed up. Being the number one in that must have been brutal, honestly. There was times where he got dropped as well. And I just don't think he refound his form or that mindset he had when he first came into Leeds. I just think he lost it at the club and it just needed to change. So yeah, started off really well for me. I remember there was talk actually of him being the French goalkeeper. That there was a period where he was very solid for us, but that drop didn't work. It just didn't work in the end for me, and it was a poor end. But he's still young. He's 26. I hope that he can fix his problems and go on and have a good career somewhere. Because he's still young. People have done it before. Where keepers, I think Karius, for example, is an example of one like that who's had a decent last few years, to be fair to him. Find his form again, got rid of them mistakes and seems to be playing quite well now and playing consistently. So, yeah, what's your thoughts on that, Andrea?
Well, good day, mate. Good day to everyone. First and foremost, but
apologies, I didn't.
No, don't worry. I've been 3V trained, so that's why. So, no, I think you summarized pretty well. You summarized also my thoughts. It's unfortunate at the end it this way. It was already unfortunate seeing him, on his own on the pitch and on the road, and after the last match of the game of the season, because you look at that picture of him sitting on that ball, in front of the cup, looking like endlessly to the rest of the pitch, towards the south stand on the other end, and everyone I think should wonder like what happened, what went wrong there, because everyone had very high hopes, for him, and they were justified because when he, like you mentioned that game at Arsenal in the FA Cup in the season when he was an understudy to Kiko Casilla under Marcelo. It was great in that game against us, and everyone thought, okay, this is a signing at the start of the season from Lorient, a signing for a backup, but he proved that he could have been a number one in that game, and eventually he became a number one after what happened with that case, around Kiko with Leiko, everything that happened with the ban on Kiko, and then of course he got he got the place in front of him, and he retained that after COVID, after the COVID break. And it was great, very good for season. You rightly mentioned, the fact that he was also in contention for for a call up with France, because back then there was still the contention, for the succession of Lugo Lloris between him, Samba, Mandanda was still playing, in the national team mist, there were some good goalkeepers, and he was mentioned in the discussion, so fair play to him back then. But after the second season, after Marcelo was sacked and Marsh arrived, we stayed up. He was still all right in that season, but the season after, everything went into pieces, because he haven't seen the changes. I think also mistakes were made by how he was coached, honestly, after Bielsa left. Because you could see the uncertainty, the missing trust, compared to the very secured Iceman, we used to call him, in the first 2 seasons. And the Iceman was gone. So everything went into pieces, I think, after relegation, because people tend to forget that Sam Allardyce had dropped him for Joel Robles. And there was reason. I think no one complained when he was dropped. There were reasons, he had one of the worst save percentages in the league. So we needed, and he needed to leave that summer, because now the value has dropped to 0 for us, because he leaves on a free. And in the championship, he overstayed. Probably it was beneficial for both parties. An early departure was beneficial for both parties, I think, in the summer of 2023. But I wish him well. I think it would be tough for him now to rebuild his career, because after one full season sitting on the bench, not on the bench, in the stands actually, just one time on the bench, then playing one game and having 2 mistakes, for the under 21s. And the season before, if you look at it, full of mistakes. Sunderland, all plenty of mistakes. It's difficult. It's tough, because, of course, it will be very, very tough to get an offer to be a number one in the top leagues. So he might be forced to go to Belgium, to Portugal, one of these leagues just outside of the top 6, to be a number one, not in a top team, of course, even in those leagues. Otherwise, he should accept a backup position in one of these sides, in a top 6, because that's the likeliness for him. That's the likeliness for him, and it's tough. But I wish him well. He's always been a good professional, a good influence, friends with everyone at the club. You see that even during the international breaks, he was going to places. When they had the breaks, the holidays in between, he was going with Strauch in New York. With other players to other places, so he was still involved in a part of the squad. So absolutely, thanks for the memories, and I wish him well, absolutely. And I really hope he makes it back to the level he was, in 2021.
Yeah, and that's why I just mentioned Loris Karius before. Obviously, just got promotion, won the league, the second tier in Germany, the Zweite Bundesliga with Schalke. Played almost every one of their games. Will be a Bundesliga player next year. You look great in the games I watched. Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, right, nice. Yeah. There we go. So it can happen. It took him a lot. It took him probably 5-6 years since his mistakes to actually get to the point he's at now. He might not be the keeper he ever thought he was going to be. He was at Liverpool. Obviously, he was meant to be one of the best in the world in a few years. But he's turned into a solid keeper now, and hopefully he can keep that up. And I think that's kind of what Meslier needs to do. Like you said, I don't think it'll be an easy fix. It seems to be difficult for keepers. But it is still young enough, even if it's 2 or 3 years till he can reach that yet. Maybe it's 30 when he gets to that point where he takes the pressure off himself and he feels calmer about things. But good luck to him. And just very quickly, Sam Byram and Carnes and Darlow, that's the talk now. Obviously, the goalkeeper situation is interesting for sure. We're not going to get into that too deeply into this video because it is a World Cup one. But for me, I'll just go very quickly. I think I mentioned earlier about we need to keep the players that don't impact the squad in terms of play time, but bring so much off the pitch. Every club that's successful needs that. I think we massively need that. We're still new into the Premier League. Those guys who really understand the club and the culture of the club are key. So for me, I think there's hints today from the Leeds Post of the players on the World Cup playing with Cairns as the pilot in the background, kind of stood there. Maybe that's a hint that he has signed a new contract. I think that'd be a good move. Byram as well. I'd like him to stay for that same role. I think Byram might want to play a little bit, which of course would mean he'd have to leave. But I'd like him there. And for Darlow again, I think he signed a new contract. I don't know what happens with the number 1 spot, but I'd like Darlow at the club next year. I think he played really well this season. I don't know what you think, mate.
Yeah, I think at this point, you have to offer him a new contract like they did, and they are in discussion. They say in the press statement, and he has to be the number 1 because you cannot afford to offer him a contract to be back up like he was, at the start of the season with Perry. Because you read in the media that Man United are interested for a backup spot, and if there's clubs playing in Europe that are interested in him for a backup spot, he wouldn't see any point in renewing his contract to be a backup in a club that just that the goal last season was to avoid relegation. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now, like I said, I would be okay with Dallo staying. If Dallo doesn't stay, we need a new number 1. Otherwise, yeah, people might say, okay, give another chance to Perry. I'm not open to that possibility right now at the moment. Maybe I'll change my mind in the future, if he has a good preseason. But yeah, I think Dallo has gained his right to stay as the number 1 right now. Because if you look at the age 2, his experience, okay, a lot of clubs have younger goalkeepers, but give him another year. And like I said, Perry on loan, you signed another goalkeeper, Cairns stays, because I think there's no point also for Cairns and Byron not to renew the contracts, because I think there's also a path there. There's a path where they renew the contract, maybe they see out their career at Leeds and then stay at the club, either in an ambassadorial role, like Stuart Dallas, or start their coaching badges, their coaching careers in the academy, like Hausen, Lennon, and then Lennon did. And I really hope that path will be followed very soon by James Miller, to be fair.
That'd be great,
yeah, that'd be great. But yeah, I think Darlow is the most difficult one between the 3 renewals. I think Byram and Cairns will eventually renew because Byram will want to play, okay. But realistically, you're going to play for a lower championship side consistently week in and week out. I mean, not just as a part of the squad. So if you want to be a part, if you have to be a rotation squad player, why not be that at Leeds? A squad player. You are an influence behind the scene. The place, and there's a part for you maybe after you finish your playing career to stay at the club and start your next career. Same for Alex Cairns. Very good influence in the dressing room. Very underrated in that regard. Everyone speaks volumes. It's also apparently if you watch some videos, it's also very very fun. Brings up the morale, in the dressing room. The most difficult one, of course, is Darlow. I love he renews, but we need to throw all our weight to convince him now, because if he has offers, maybe to play in Europe. Okay, I'm going to a club playing in Europe, European competitions. I mean, of course.
Do you know what, Andrea? I was just on that. I was thinking
the FA Cup and the League Cup.
Yeah, I was just thinking on that. I even if it's in England, but then I realised the ownership situation. I could see him maybe going to Rangers or something like that. Obviously there's Jack Butland there currently. I believe he's their number 1. But I could just see that being, playing in Europe. I think that'd be a good step for him. I don't see him being number 1 in any other Premier League club, probably. Obviously, Championship he could do, but where would he want to go? Like you said, I think if you can get them European offers, but if you can play as well as that, I think Scotland would be a great little destination. But obviously, given the ownership thing, it'd be a bit of a strange one for the club. But that's
Celtic,
just what comes to my head.
Schmeichel has retired, I think. So
maybe there then.
There's Schmeichel, of course. I mean, Casper, not Peter, of course.
But we'll leave that there. 15 minutes. We'll have a chat about the goalkeepers. There's deeper discussion there. Of course, there is on the number 1 situation. what's going to happen, but we will do that closer to the time when we need to discuss it. But right now, the World Cup is as we record tonight. I'm so excited. I'm missing the first game. I will rewatch it though. We've got this, we'll be able to watch it after the game, so we'll be all good there. But just before we get into that, Andrea, how are you feeling? It's a weird. I mean, I guess I'm not trying to thingy here, but I guess you're kind of used to this, given the last few.
Yeah.
To be fair,
honestly, I don't feel the like. Of course, you have it in the back of your head, like, okay, I'm gonna sit on the sofa again, and we're not in there, and it's like the first time was the most awful one, 2018, because you get there and see, oh, we should be there, It's like watching everyone else being at the party and you are left out.
this is Italy, by the way. Just to clarify,
Yeah,
we're talking about Italy. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the first time you were angry, we were angry because, okay, we missed the World Cup, insane, unthinkable. But now we're getting used to it, and we probably deserved to, because the last two time, you are losing to North Macedonia and Bosnia. Not disrespect to North Macedonia, but they weren't a great team, and Bosnia are a good team for me. People were underestimating them in Italy. The people in Italy were underestimating them, but for me, they are a good side. I think they could have a good World Cup too, especially our friend Ermedin Demirovic. But yeah, I will root for them. Honestly, I will root for them. I will be happy if they do well. But yeah, I think in the end, we deserve not to be at this World Cup, because we weren't great in the qualifiers. We are, we didn't have a great European campaign in 2024 in Germany. There's plenty of issues plaguing Italian football, so in the end, it's only a result of all the problems of our system. The fact that we are not introducing the young players in the national team, we're not really investing in the facilities. There's plenty of problems. I watched the two friendlies, and the two friendlies that we play against Luxembourg and Greece. Both teams were playing with their first team, especially Greece, with Solis, Musakitis, Kouliarakis, all these players. We were playing with the under 21s, basically, with Donnarumma, and all the others were the under 21s with Pio Esposito and Pisilli too. These were the only two who had already made their debut in the senior team, and we won both games. We were very good against Greece. Koleosho could have scored another one. So there's surely that shows that the young players, the young good players that you can introduce into the system are there, but the problem is that probably we're gonna revert to Mancini. And again, honestly, if you want to break from your past, of course they're going to him. They are having negotiations with him because they say, oh, we won the Euros in 2021. Yeah, but look at the football we played after that. It was not a good level of football. It was not a good level of football. We didn't have good results. We missed out on the World Cup again against North Macedonia. And yeah, it's probably a penitence that we need to take this one. Watch the other teams, because these teams have good models, good structures. Look at England, the number of players, young players that we have produced. You won 2 straight under 21s European Championship, won the World Cup under 17, with Ford and all these players that were there, so it's deserved. These teams, even Scotland, are introducing now young players. This other Portugal, everyone has a good mix apart from us. We are the only ones. So yeah, it's strange, but I enjoy watching football in the end. I watch the World Cup, I still feel that excitement, But yeah, it's strange to root again for Argentina, because everyone is rooting for Argentina, of course, because a lot of people have relatives living there, and same goes both ways. People in Argentina have relatives in Italy, so it's like a family connections, because there's plenty. It's like a brotherly deep connection, like also with the USA, but of course you don't have the majority. You don't have many Italian American players in the USA. While you have plenty of Italian Argentines playing for Argentina, and a lot of them play in Italy. So that's why. But yeah, it's strange, but we deserve not to be part of this World Cup. To be fair,
Yeah, I guess it's I'm not really used to that. I'm just used to us going to World Cups and making me cry at the end of it, regardless of what we do. It's never the result we want, really. But from an England perspective, real quick, before we get into the tables and the kind of our predictions of what's going to happen in the tournament and some individual player discussion that we like. I weren't delighted with the decision. To be honest, I think there's a few players that, particularly Gibbs White, I find it insane that Morgan Gibbs White didn't make it. 15 goals in the Premier League from a midfielder, and every time I watched him, he was by far Forest's best player. I find it really unfortunate that he didn't get called up. Obviously, the DCL part of it. I think it's important to note, however, that striker, that third striker, won't play much minutes. So I understand the Ivan Toney selection from a penalty perspective. I do understand that, but I still think in terms of credit and what the guy's done, Calvert-Lewin scoring 14 goals in the Premier League this season, performing really well for most of it as well. A little period where he was poor, but apart from that, he's excellent. In a team that, we're a good team, but we're not a top six side. I thought he did more than enough to deserve a spot. But again, like I say, that player won't play too much minutes, assuming Harry Kane stays fit, touch wood, because if he doesn't, we're in trouble. But I've got genuine excitement. I think for the first time in a while, this is how I feel from my perspective. I don't know what it's like in Europe, but I think we're going into it quite low key. I don't think honestly, I think there's a few countries that have been spoke about more than us. France are always up there, Spain, Portugal, Brazil. There's loads up there. We're not being talked about as one of the favourites from what I've been seeing online and stuff like that, which I actually quite like. Because I think we've got a good squad. I don't think we necessarily never really, anyway, have too many world-class talents in terms of top three in their position in the world. But I think we're better when we don't have that. Looking at when we had the golden generation, we had the Lampards, the Gerrards. I mean, Beckham, it was endless, right? Every one of them players was probably top three, top four in their position in the world. And it didn't work. I like this kind of motive we've got going into it. Kind of not the underdogs, but we're going into it a little low key, a little underappreciated. Yeah. But what we have got is a very competitive squad, I think. We do have goal dust in there with Harry Kane, who's probably the best striker this season, and has probably been up that level for the last 3 or 4 years, honestly. So we have a really top player that we need to turn up. And I just think we're going to be really competitive. Honestly, I don't think we have to play the most exciting football. I'm not too bothered about that. I think at a World Cup, you've got to do what you got to do to win the games.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily have... Yeah, we don't necessarily have the strength in depth in terms of what like France have or players like countries like that. But I think we've got a bunch of hardworking players. I like this squad. And I'm just looking forward to it. I'm thinking for my prediction because I don't know where to go with my head or my heart. But we'll see, because it's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to it. I love the fact that there's more teams. I know it changes the dynamics of qualifying a little bit more. It makes it a little more, did they deserve it? But I like watching different nations that have never had this opportunity have this opportunity, and I want to see how they play at the World Cup. So I'm looking forward to it. Genuinely, I'm so excited. I'm going to watch as many games as possible. I can't wait. I'm ready for it, mate. Honestly, I can't wait.
Yeah, because having more teams means also more players to watch and more talents to scout. Of course, he will help with the development of this of these teams, and also more togetherness, more collective moments. For countries that never experienced it, like Uzbekistan, Curacao, Haiti. Of course, it's been quite a while since the World Cup 1974. Played against Italy back then too. Yeah, plenty of them. I'm thinking also, about the other countries like Iraq, for example. War torn. Iraq. Also another team returning at the World Cup. Of course, there was other teams that are missing with this new verification format, of course, but. What can you expect? Even Norway returning after more than 26 years.
That's crazy.
1998. Crazy that,
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
Denmark and Italy missing out. There was,
Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking at the other one, not Curacao was the other one. There's another one. Yeah, of course you have
Cape Verde.
Qatar. Yeah, Cape Verde. Yeah, right. That was the one with the Dylon Livramento leading the line. So yeah, if you
Yeah.
look at them, a tiny group of islands,
Mm. So
Cape
cool.
Verde, Yeah,
Mm.
it's cool stories, man. Even Uzbekistan, they never experienced the World Cup. They have Cannavaro as the head coach. It's great. It's great. It's great to see. Honestly, I think people can criticize that, but you expand, the level of the
Mm.
World Cup and that collective moments that it's even game changing, for certain countries, because if you look in the past, the World Cup has been, a relief. It's been a
Mm.
it has transformed countries, in terms of public opinion, society, because
Mm.
I think it's the only thing left. These big tournaments are the only thing left, in a social era where really people get into the streets, get
Mm.
together, feel a sense of togetherness, national pride. We have lost a lot of it. Lost a lot. We lost it a lot. Our collective conscience. And it emerged now in this social boom. Social media era
Mm.
now, only with these collective tournaments where even people that don't follow football usually watch the matches, because it's like a big part. Regarding England, I
Mm.
agree with you. I didn't like the selection. You're going really low key, missing out players like Foden, the new
Yeah. I
turn,
did.
uh,
Yeah.
the new turned pop star Cole Palmer, appearing in Madonna's videos. Yeah, it was quite odd, honestly. I laughed honestly because it's like it's a cameo, of course, but it's really out of the blue, in that video clip. But yeah, these selections, even DCL, another one. But
Mm.
my main worry for England is the defense for me, honestly. I think you're pretty
Mm.
okay with the actually very good, really good options up front. Anderson is very good, but first tournament for him. Rice is a guarantee, of course, it's a guarantee.
Mm.
The selection, the alternative, the rotation, the middle. The defense for me is the big question mark, honestly, with Mark Gay and Cons in the middle, and O'Reilly and Rhys James, and
Yeah.
as fullbacks. This is the big question mark, because a lot of these players, are in the first World Cup and the first tournament with England as starters, of course, in defense. I mean, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But of
I
course,
mean,
if you can gel it together, you can go far. You can go far because
yeah.
look at the attacking options you have.
No Trent either. I just realised no Trent, no Harry
Yeah,
Maguire. Who, say what you want about him for England, he's always been excellent. He is the guy
yeah,
for England always, every tournament. Yeah, it's Lewis Hall as well. He's had a good season. There's a few very questionable ones, but I'm just at that point now. Just back it. Let's go with it. It's the World Cup. I don't care anymore. It's done. Let's just get on with it. But yeah, what we're gonna do now? We're gonna get up the tables. We're gonna do a little. Do you want to do? Were we doing the predictors first, or were we doing
yeah.
our winners,
Let's do the
flop team, surprise team
no,
first?
no. Let's do the our
Predictions, yeah.
our our predictions in terms of winner, best team.
Okay.
Golden boot. Because
Right.
after that, we'll do the predictor, and people will see us clash heads. To see, okay, this team needs to go
Yeah.
through. No, this one, yeah, yeah. We'll have to play
Right.
rock paper scissors, to decide once. I think, as we'll see.
So yeah, probably we'll leave winners to the end. We'll leave that to the
Okay,
end. We'll go flop.
okay. Flop team.
I'll let you go first because I need to think about it a little bit.
Nah, for me, it's crystal clear. Honestly, Belgium for me.
Oh, okay.
I think Rudy Garcia. I really don't. I really have doubts about him as manager. Throughout his career. Now
Mm.
he's got Courtois back in. There's still some of the players from the golden generation that reached the third place in 2018 at the World Cup. There's still De Bruyne. There's still Lukaku, Courtois, of course.
Mm.
Unfortunately, they were always the Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Vermaelen. It looks like they were there forever.
Yeah.
There's no one left from that era. They have now Theat, Faes, De Kuiper, Tielemans, Onana, De Ketelaere. They have a good squad, but I think they still lack the mentality, like in Qatar, when they went out in the group stage, if I remember
Mm.
correctly. I don't think they have the elite mentality. Like if I look at all the other teams, like Netherlands, England, the top European teams, Portugal, all of them. If you look at them, I can see them arrive at least at the semifinals. These top European teams. The only one as a top seed, that I see in the European teams, that when I look at them, and it makes me say, I have doubts about them, is Belgium. Honestly, I think they would be the
Mm.
flop of the tournament. In terms of, maybe they get past the group, yeah, because it's a group with Iran, Egypt, and New Zealand. But probably round of 32, round of 16, I think they can go out. So for me,
Mm.
looking at the level of the
Okay.
players they have, that's why I mentioned them as a flop of the tournament, because if they get out before the quarterfinals, it's a flop for them, and I think they will.
Okay, interesting. I've gone a slightly different route, and this is gonna. I know we have a lot of guys who watch from the US, a lot of Leeds fans from the US, so I apologize.
You getting yourself
I
into the hot waters there.
know I realize this is a bad decision, but I like some controversy sometimes. Honestly, I don't. I like to live a quiet life, but for this one time, I'm going to say I've got a feeling, and I could be wrong. In terms of home advantage, I think about Mexico really, and I think the Mexican crowd will be fully behind that team. I think the atmosphere will be unbelievable. I'm not sure that would be the case for the US. Not in terms of they won't be behind them, of course they'll be behind them, but how raucous will that crowd be? How wild will they be? What's the culture like there for this situation? I think it's going to be interesting. There's also, I know there'll be a lot of US fans who won't support the USA as well. I don't know. I'm just curious how they got on, and I've got a feeling they've not got an easy group. I was just checking here. Yeah, Paraguay, Australia, who have some good players, and Turkey. That won't be an easy group to get out of. It'd be very competitive.
Yeah.
I don't know where they'll go, but I think they'll underperform, and I don't think they'll reach the expectations that some of the US fans think. I've seen a lot of people say they're going to get semi-finals, quarterfinals. I'm not too sure. I think they'll struggle to get out the group. They might get out of it.
That's
But I
quite the
don't think it'll
stretch,
be
mate,
easy.
for them.
Mm,
It's quarterfinal, semi-final, like those people say. Honestly, it's like
mm.
it's like saying Christian Pulisic is the LeBron James of soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
I
gonna
can dash
go,
flip.
and I do apologize, but I am gonna go the USA. I'm sorry. I just
Yeah, at least they will reply with I believe that
yeah,
we will win. But
yeah.
I can get your point in terms of atmosphere. If
Mm,
you look at the game, look back at the game that England played against Costa Rica, there's Declan Rice taking a corner kick with people having a full McDonald's behind him.
yeah, that was funny.
So yeah,
Yeah, I'm just not sure.
the atmosphere.
Is it gonna be
But
raucous? I just don't know. I don't know.
yeah, that applies also to, but that applies, but lesser, I think, to Canada too,
Mm,
because what they did. They are playing their games, of course, with the home advantage. After
mm,
Italy didn't qualify, there's one of the largest Italian communities abroad in Toronto. What they did was come to our store with your Italian jersey. We will change one to you. We will change it with a Canadian one. So I think a lot of immigrants communities, that
mm,
were trying to support like their old country in that sense, like Italy, will eventually support the Canada, for example. So
mm,
having that part, when you play their games like in Toronto, etc., you'll have a more lively crowd. But yeah, the Mexicans are just another level. If you watch how they welcome every team, especially Japan with the sombreros and the
mm.
mariachi, with singing Cielito Lindo. It looked like,
Yeah.
coming out of that game I really love, Red Dead Redemption, when you are seeing Javier playing the banjo. It was good. The Mexicans are a very good,
Mm,
very good people. They are very good people in terms of making you feel welcome, and especially hosting World Cups, two of the best editions, 1970 and 1986.
True. Yeah, so there we go. I think we'll go to surprise team next.
Okay.
I've got
You
two
go.
and I'm struggling.
I have three.
Ooh. All right, I'll name the ones that I'm thinking about and I'll go for the one at the end. So just going down here, I'm not going to name any of the top ones. So I think Norway are very good anyway. Teams like that, I think will do well. I think they're good though. They've got a really good squad. So I'm not going to go there. Morocco, obviously a ridiculous squad. They're a very good team. But the three I'm looking at was Uruguay. I genuinely think, they could cause some problems. I really do. Bielsa already said, I believe he said recently that this is his last thing. He's going to leave after this. So I'm going to be really interested to see how they get on. There's not a lot of big stars in that team. There's probably 1 or 2, 3 in there. There's a lot of people that play in South America. So I think they'll be really hard. So I'm going to go Uruguay is one of them. Bosnia, actually. Genuinely, I was impressed when they played you guys. I think they've got some really dangerous tools in their squad. And I think coming through that way will almost give them an extra boost. Very competitive team. They work really hard for each other.
Advantage to mate. Trust me. There's plenty of people that left Bosnia during the war that are living in the US. So if you watch one of their friendlies, it was like they were playing at home in St. Louis, so they left out too.
There we go. Yeah, Bosnia. And the other one, I'm trying to find them on here. The other one that I was going to mention was where are they?
It's Italy.
Austria.
Yeah.
Ralph Ragnick. And there's some good players in that Austrian team. A lot of good players in there. Some good ball carriers, some good, deeper layer midfielders who can play the ball, control the tempo. Some experience too. I think they're going to be a threat. I think they're underrated, Austria. Honestly, I do. I think they've got some really good players that are playing well in Europe this season. But I'm going to go with... Do you know what? I'm actually going to go Bosnia, yeah. I'm going to go Bosnia.
Okay. They will love you in Sarajevo then. But you could have been honest and say, I'm going Bosnia because of Ermedin Demirovic.
Of course. I've got to back him.
Yeah. No, I had 3, and these 3 were Bosnia and Herzegovina, Austria, and Japan. So I'm gonna say Japan because you mentioned Bosnia and Austria.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you on Bosnia. I think they are very underrated. The only problem is that, okay, if you look at the wingers, Memic, Dedic, Alejbegovic, Baraktarevic, the strikers, Tabakovic, Demirovic, Žeko, of course. Look at the centre backs, Muharemovic, Katic, very solid partnership, Kolasinac too.
Yeah.
The 2 number 6, however, Basic or Šunic, and next to Tahirovic, I think they're missing something, there, and it can play a part, the art of the midfield. While Austria, of course, also they just got, in the last window before the World Cup, Paul Wanner and Chukwuemeka, so 2 good additions there, Then they have plenty of experienced players and also good players, like experienced Arnautovic, Gregoric, Halajdzic,
Alaba.
Halaba, Kalajdzic, though, like another example from Elia, another one that full of injuries. Now had a very good season in the Austrian Bundesliga that won the league with Lars Klintz, got called up for the World Cup, Then they have, of course, Laima, Schlager, Posch, very solid. And they are playing together for quite a while. So they had also a good European campaign in Germany 2 years ago. So underrated. But Japan, Tanaka, they had very good, played very well against England, against Scotland. If you look at the squad, too, looking at it, there's also, what are they here? Kubo, Doan, Maeda, Kamada, of course, Watanabe from Feyenoord, Ueda, another one from Feyenoord. There's Sano, was leaving Mainz, by the way, a good player for the market. Itakura, Ito, plenty of them, Sugawara, Suzuki, I think they're going a lot under the radar. This might be the best team Japan ever had, even more than when they hosted the World Cup, when they had Nakamura, Inamoto, Yanagisawa, old Hendo, all this, and the older one, Hendo, not the one at Liverpool, who, by the way, they also have in the World Cup squad, is their captain. So yeah, Japan, I think it's another team that is going really under the radar because they run like hell, mate. They run like hell, they are all good
Absolutely.
runners. They have the intensity, they can cause problems. Look when they beat Germany, 4 years ago, coming from behind too.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they don't have like Minamino, they're missing players like the left out
yeah.
players like Minamino, Morita, so look at the selections they have. They can afford to leave out certain players too.
Oh, Morita didn't get in.
Yeah, they didn't.
Oh,
Even
wow.
Minamino too. Minamino didn't get.
Right.
Didn't
Oh,
get.
wow. Did not know that.
Tomiyasu recovered. Tomiyasu recovered too.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have
Wow.
plenty of even Kyogo. Furuashi, another one that didn't make it
Wow.
when it was at Birmingham this season. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot of good teams that are underrated in this team in this tournament. Honestly, there's loads. Switzerland as well. That's another one I didn't mention. Who have some very good young players in there as well. Mix some experience for sure. So, right, we've done surprise team. Best player. Best player at the tournament. Who's going to win the best player?
It's an odd one for me. Not for me, but people that will listen and wonder why is he mentioning that player? He's not a striker. He's not one scoring goals. He's not one that is procuring problems up front. My best player for me will be Vitinha.
Okay.
For me, it will be Vitinha. The art of the Portuguese. In the end, is the core of the Portuguese team. So that's we've seen him being a force, being like the glue for PSG. In the UCL in the last 2 seasons. I think he can do it for Portugal too. They won the Nations League last season too, and he was an integral part of that. I think he can be the best player for them, even more than Ronaldo. Of course, if they win it, they will name Ronaldo. If they win the cup, they will name Ronaldo. That's it's already done and dusted. It's already written in the stars. But for me, the player that can make the world difference for the world team for Portugal is Vitinha for me.
No, fair enough. I'm going to go similar lines. To be honest, it's not an underrated player. It's one everyone knows. Lamine Yamal. I think. I mean, obviously, I remember the Euros when they beat us in the final, and he was a joke. He's been a joke since then. He's got better and better. I think he's 18. I think he's 18 now. This is his time. I think to what's looking at the greatest of all time. You got to do it in international tournaments too. Now's a great opportunity for the young man to establish and start that legacy of being the greatest of all time. I still don't think anyone will ever be better than Lionel Messi, just to clarify. But for him, this is a chance. Good squad. Spain have a very good squad. So they'll get chances. They'll be on the ball a lot. He'll have a lot of opportunities 1v1. They'll have a lot of chances to score. Yeah. Lamine Yamal is mine.
Yeah. Played it safe, mate.
Absolutely.
But yeah, of course. Absolutely. I think if Spain wins, it will be mainly due to Yamal, because it's now 2 years older and 2 years more experience. So
yeah,
he already has won the Euros. So why not repeat it in the World Cup? This level of performances,
Golden Boot.
Julian Alvarez.
Okay.
Julian for me. Even more than Kane. It's between him and Kane for me. It's between him and Kane. But I think Julian, look at him in the UCL, look at him for Atletico Madrid. That's why Real offered 150 million euros, and they got rejected. I think right now in Europe, one of the best number 9s, probably the best one behind Harry Kane. For sure, for me, Harry Kane is the best 9 on the typical 9. I mean, because of course, if you class everyone as a 9, even Mbappe can be in the discussion, but even Haaland, of course. So right now, yeah, probably the top 3 is Kane, Haaland, Holland, and Alvarez for me. And Julian, I think he's so versatile, can play also in all 3 positions, up front. I think it's really gonna be his tournament for Argentina. It's gonna be his tournament because the levels he played this season for Atletico Madrid were insane, and I think he can replicate that with the Albiceleste shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind that shout at all, honestly. But I'm going to go with another one you mentioned. I'm not going to go Harry Kane because I think we'll win quite a lot of our games by 1 goal. I'm going to go Erling Haaland, yeah. The Leeds lad, the Leeds connection. I just think he's inevitable. He's so motivated to do whatever he wants, and I absolutely love that about him. He has not had this opportunity at World Cup. Now he has. So he's in his prime. I think he wants to put his name in the history books. He's going to want to score as much as possible. He's got everything he needs. He's won everything he needs. He's scored in every competition. He's scored loads of goals in every competition. The World Cup is the one that's missing for his country. Now's the time. And I think he will. I think he's going to get loads of goals. I really do. I don't know how far Norway will go, but I'm interested to watch him. I think they've got a very good squad. But I think he's going to be the main guy for the goals in that team. He'll get good supply. And I can see him scoring quite a few. Yeah, Erling Haaland for me. Again, another unknown player that I've chose for this.
Yeah, but the supply is good because the value you mentioned, it goes Odegaard, Nusa, also the wing backs, fullbacks, Gerson, Muller-Wölfe. They have plenty. They have plenty. Also, our guy, Thilo Asgard, got called up when we wanted to sign him. When he was at Wigan, remember and then eventually Luton signed him, and then moved to Rangers. So when you see these players making it, it's always good. It's always good when you see the players that we mentioned making it to a World Cup.
It's good to see. Right, young player, and I'm going to exclude Yamal, for example, because I've chosen. I'm going to choose a different. Yeah, so young player. Ooh, I've got a list
under 21. Let's clarify that. Under 21, like the World Cup assigns every 4 years after the tournament the best under 21 player. So these are the criteria. Has to be under 21.
Ooh, it's hard. I'm gonna go rogue. Oh no, will he play? I'm not even sure he'll play, but I want to put a name out there. Again, I'm not sure he'll play for Senegal. But I'm going to go Ibrahim Mbaye, who plays for obviously PSG, young player, young winger. I watched him. There's a game on YouTube where PSG played against Atletico. I believe it was the start of last year, and I remember. And he was 17 at the time. He's 18 now, so he'd have been 16 at the time. And I remember thinking, "Oh, this guy's insane." As soon as I saw him, I thought Mbappe. Really direct, really quick. His pace that he could dribble with the ball at high speed was so impressive, keeping that ball close to him. And he had good end products as well. And he just looked a level above anyone. He's broke into the PSG team this year. He's played not loads of minutes. He's come off the bench for the most part. But again, when he's come on, he's looked good. He's obviously choosing to represent. I think he could represent. He's born in France, but he's representing Senegal. Again, I'm not sure how much he'll play. But if he does play, I expect him to make an impact, is what I'm saying. So if he does play, he's definitely one that I think has a shout of taking that role. There's probably easier and better options, of course. There's more established players, but sometimes I've been very safe so far. So I'm pushing it out a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to go Ibrahim Mbaye. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good shout, honestly, because we see him also, in the UCL for PSG, so young, so doesn't feel the pressure. Doesn't feel the pressure too.
No.
Play that you like to watch. You like to watch because it's one of the players that gets you on your seat, and the edge of your seat when has the ball, because it's very similar to Yamal in the sense of okay, he has the ball. What's gonna happen now? In that category, in that category.
100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna mention an African player too. Actually, not Senegal in this case, but Ivory Coast. I know people will already know now with this hint. Yan Diomande, of course, from RB Leipzig. Player that has been doing good things, in the Bundesliga. Very good story. I also read an article, I think 3-4 months ago, in Guerin Sportivo about him. His story, the fact that he had moved, to the US, so he knows also He also knows America in that regard. Then got scouted. I think got scouted by. Don't remember if North Shetland. I can check in real time though, because that's where Then moved to Spain. Yeah, actually,
Spain,
Spain. I'm confusing it with another one, but moved to Leganés, of course. That one. Then and RB Leipzig got him from Leganés. 10 appearances for Leganés, two goals in La Liga. In that 10 games, RB Leipzig saw something, and they were right. Because look at him this season. So I think, especially looking at the group that the Ivory Coast has, Germany, Curacao, and Ecuador. I think Ivory Coast has a real chance to go through. And who knows after that, because they have plenty of very good players. They have Kessié, they have Ndika, Gassand, Ahmad, Diallo, Seri,
Torre,
Bazumana. They have plenty of they have a good mix. They have a good mix. Ndika, Kosunu, and a lot of these players were there when they won not this year edition, the previous edition of AFCON. So they already know how to do it on the big stage, and they won a cup in the previous edition of AFCON. So it's a team that gels well together.
I'm going to give one honourable mention to Matias Fernandez Pardo from Lille. He's been really good this year. He's linked to a lot of top teams.
Belgium. That's underline that. Yeah.
I think he could represent. I think it was Spain and another country. It might have been France. I can't remember. But he had a lot of choices. Yeah. So he's another one as well that I want to mention. There's a lot. Like I said, there's loads of good young players in this World Cup, which I'm really excited for seeing. But I think it's a good shout from you, Andre. I think you'll probably be right with that as well. To be fair, what have we got? What we got left? Surprise player. Ooh, this one's interesting. I think you're next.
You want me to start? Okay.
Yeah,
it's a surprise. What do we mean with surprise? The one that can follow the path of Azzedine Hunay, in Qatar 2022. The player that nobody expects. Not a very young player, but one of the players between 24, 25, 26. A player that out of nowhere raises to top level in the World Cup. I put down 3 honestly, in terms of they can really catch the eye. And I have to choose, Ivan Kunda, Australia, of course, from Watford, I think can be one that, that can make the step up, because maybe get a move from Watford. Of course, our friend Pavel Schulz and Keshi Sano that I mentioned before with Japan. So let's look at the groups to see who has the chance to go through, probably I'm gonna say Pavel Schulz, honestly, for the Czechs, because I think the Czechs look, even as a third place team, maybe they can get through. Of course, Ivan Kunde is another player that I really think can really carry the weight of Australia, in this tournament. Of course, now they have Volpato too. They take from Italy, Australian. Used to represent Italy. Never called up by the senior side, and now switched back to Australia, because he was born then, of course. But Pavel Schulz.
I love it. Great shout. I'm going to go, actually, you mentioned Australia. I'm going to go Jordan Boss, to give me his actual name. Left back.
Yeah.
He's one that I'd absolutely love at Leeds United as well. I think he's such a good player. Obviously, we have Gabby. But, and maybe even a Gabby's one to talk about, to be fair. But, I'm going to go Jordan Boss. I've been super impressed with him this season at Feyenoord. He's so good down that left side. Such a versatile player as well. He can dribble, he can cross. A lot of his similarities in terms of his forward movement and running are similar to Gabby. Quite a direct player, powerful runner, strong runner, works really hard. I just think he obviously is at Feyenoord now, but for me, he's a player who can play at a high level. Underrated as well. You don't really see or hear much about him when people talk about left backs in Europe. So, Johnny Boss, I'm going to give a rogue wild shout out as well to Sonjia Hansen. The guy I mentioned who's obviously at Middlesbrough now. He's struggled this season. He's had some injury problems. He's not found his form. But obviously he's representing Curacao at this World Cup. I'm assuming he'll start for them as well. So you never know. Sometimes one of these players goes to a World Cup with the joy of playing for the country. not had a great season and performs. So he's an honourable mention as well. But yeah, I'm going to go Jordy Boss for Australia, the left back for me.
All right. I know him. So plays in Netherlands, right? I cannot remember if
Feyenoord,
AZ.
yeah.
Feyenoord, yeah, not
Feyenoord,
Z.
yeah.
Same colors, but yeah, Feyenoord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they signed him from Westerlo for 1.3 million in 2025. So yeah, he's a great player, really good player, massively underrated in my opinion. 9 assists this season, 4 goals as well. So yeah, I think winners now, Andre. Who's going to win the thing? That's the question.
Yeah, the hardest one.
It
Because
is.
I think the top teams that are the favorites, no one of them. I mean, the teams everyone is talking about: Spain, Argentina, Brazil. I think neither of them will win. Honestly,
Right.
I think it would be like if there's tiers, tier A, tier B. These teams are tier A. Then there's team in tier B. I think it will be a tier B team like Portugal or Germany. Because Germany, they didn't have a very good Euro 2024, at home especially. Same for the last World Cup, but they're looking good, in the friendlies. Of course, they lost Leonard Carl and they've replaced him with Ouedraogo. Now they have certain players that are at the end of the road with the national team, like Goretzka. I'm laughing because every time now I say Goretzka, the guy from TikTok, Goretzka comes to my mind. I don't know if you have watched it. There's this.
I think so, though.
Basically, there's this Bayern Munich fan, called Finn. Works for 4332 now. I think that every time he sees Goretzka, basically at the training ground, at the Allianz Arena, and he's following me everywhere. Every time they're going out, there's everyone.
Yeah.
He's calling
And
the
Goretzka
players
looks
like,
angry every time he sees him.
yeah.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen
but
that, yeah.
I actually gifted a shirt to him now. But yeah, it's so fun because you see Goretzka walking very, very peacefully, like with all the other players, and then you hear Goretzka. So funny.
So that's funny.
Funny.
Yeah.
But I know it can be annoying, for the player because every time, you get. I think Goretzka is also a very reserved, calm person and doesn't like to be in the spotlight,
Yeah.
And every time he gets him in the spotlight because everyone is like, no, yeah. Autograph, Nabri autograph, Goretzka. Then you hear at the back of your head, Goretzka from the back of the crowds. So funny. Yeah, I think Germany are very underrated, like England, very similar case. But for me, Portugal, I think, Messi got his World Cup. I think Ronaldo will get his World Cup too. It would be quite the story, for football if both of the two main characters from the last couple of decades get everyone both get at least a World Cup, So yeah, Portugal.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's always interesting because it usually is one of the top nations that wins it. Like it's in the top 2, top 3 going into it. France are usually the ones that always pick it up. Spain as well. They're always in about it. Germany have had a difficult up and down last kind of 10 years. But yeah, I like their squad. So much consistency and so much good form in that squad. All them players had really good seasons. You think of someone like Amira, for example, who's made it as well, who's had a really good year at Mainz. Brazil, again, what Brazil turn up? That's always the worry with Brazil. You know what? And there's obviously underrated ones like, again, Morocco. I look at Morocco's team and think, wow, on their day, they could beat almost anyone. They look really, really good.
Better than 4 years ago, too. Better than 3 years ago for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Japan as well have a ridiculously good squad. Do I do it? I think I might. If my dad watches this and I don't say England, Andrea, I'm in big trouble. If my girlfriend watches this and I don't say England, I'm in big trouble. You know what?
You have to back yourself.
I have to, of course. I'm not. Am I saying we're the best team in the tournament? Am I saying we're going to blow it? I'm not. But I love supporting my country at a World Cup. There's nothing better. So of course I'm going to back them. I do think I don't think there's a standout team this year which will help us. I think there's a lot of good squads. I don't think there's a standout nation this year. So I'm gonna go England. Why not? Why not? Who cares?
It's done now.
Yeah.
It's done. It's coming home. It's
Yeah.
coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home.
Do you know what as well? I've not seen England. I'm looking here. I've not seen England for any of the Golden Boot surprise. I've not seen England for any of them. So
You win every game 1-0. That's why.
I'll take it. I'd love that.
The Italian
I'd
way.
love it, mate. I'd love to wind up the entire world when we do it as well. That'd be great. So yeah, the whole world will be triggered, and I will be rejoicing in the streets. But I can dream. Yeah, I think this is it. I'll be watching every game with my dad. I just think it'll be. Yeah, I can't think past them memories that would happen if we did win. I can't think past them. So it's 100% with my heart, but I've got to choose my country, England. Yeah, 100%.
Good. Let's see if the 60 now, if the 60 years of Earth and this time around, and you will live
How
in
long can it go
and
for?
all of that, in the streets.
Do you know what it is as well, Andrea? Not to get too deep into this, but I think the country needs it. I do.
Yeah.
The country needs something like this. It does.
Get together, yeah.
Yeah. It really needs it. It does. So hopefully the boys can take that into them as well and give it the best they got, because it does need it. It's okay into it, but it's tough right now here. But hopefully they can bring it back. So yeah. Anyway, I guess now it's time to do our own predictions. We've got a little thing here from the Telegraph that we're going to bring up. If I can find it, it's right here. My voice is going as well, so this will help.
No, while you find it, I'll just start what you said. You're turning into Italy now, because if you look at your prime minister's record, you've got you are getting into the used to be Italy, changing the prime ministers quite a while. Like you had Johnson, then you had of course Truss, Sunak, Starmer, 4 in the space of 4 years. Yeah. So like the Italian way, like the old Italian days, when we're changing prime ministers left and right. Yeah. Looks like this will be the longest government for Italy to stay in place. Actually, the current one.
True,
like
yeah.
they're fighting for the record. Yeah. Let me put my glass. Let me put my glasses on. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
So we've got this little thing here. I guess we drag. Do we drag, Andrea? Do I drag the?
No. You have to. I think you have to click. Yeah, you have to click, because I did it for the Euros.
First.
The fourth, yeah. We can go to fourth. I think the fourth. My opinion. Group A, goes Mexico, South Korea, South Africa, and the Czech Republic. Call it what you like. I think the strongest team, probably in terms of values, is South Korea Republic. This is the group with many names. You have South Africa, Czech Republic, Korea, South Korea Republic. You have plenty of names. But if I look at the squad of South Korea, you have Kim from Bayern, Lee Jae-sung, Mainz, Ho. We mentioned him in January. Then he went to Besiktas from Genk. Yeah, Jens Kastrup from Gladbach, Hwang from Wolverhampton, of course, Son, Paik Seung-ho from Birmingham. I think they are the team with the top. Also, Lee Kang-in from PSG.
Love him.
Yeah, he's very, very good player. Like him too. Also, Lee Han-beong from Midtjylland. I think they are the team with the most talent in this group. Also, of course, there's debate for that, because if you look at Mexico up front, they have Santiago Jimenez from AC Milan, injury plagued this season, and Raúl Jimenez will just move back to Wolves, from Fulham. Then they have, of course, Juan Vasquez from Genoa, Gajardo, been there for quite a while. Also Mora, Fidalgo, another good player from Betis, and they play at home.
Yeah.
I think the less talented one is South Africa for me. So I'm having them in fourth. It's a team. It's a country that I actually like because of our connection with Radebe, Mazinga. But yeah, I'll have honestly South Africa in fourth place. I don't know what you think about it.
In terms of names, in terms of players that play at the top level or the highest level, you probably say South Africa would finish bottom this league, at this group here. But I always, every time I watch them, I always like their work ethic, their tenacity, their energy. They always bring that. So they'll definitely be competitive. I think they'll be a really competitive team. But I do agree. I think the others will just have a little bit of consistent quality of players who play at a high level. So yeah, I agree. Oh, it's the other way around. Okay.
And you can drag them. I think you can drag them now.
Okay, I drag them.
No. Now you have to place all the other ones. Yeah.
I'll refresh.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Right. It's not working. No. Okay. Right now we know.
We have to place the other ones. Then we can move them around. I think.
Okay. So who? So that's 4. So I guess we're going. I'll tell you my order. I'm gonna go. Oh, this is hard. I'm gonna go. I think Mexico will make it out. I think again the home crowd. I can see them winning the group. I really can. For me, it's between Korea and Czech Republic, South Korea and Czech Republic in second and third. I've got a feeling Korea might just miss out. Honestly,
I think Mexico will make it through, but I'm edging more towards the third place, honestly. But I can see the sense in your argument in your in your point. So I think we can put Mexico first. I follow you there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to put them in first to see what happens.
Yeah, you have to just click. You can't drag.
Okay.
Tell you what, we'll do this, and then we can change it. Right.
Okay. Right.
There we go.
Yeah. Then
Mexico first. Yeah.
So South Republic. Sorry, South Africa first.
Creating a new country over it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
right.
I think the Czech, if it's between South Korea and Czech Republic in a direct clash, in their match, I think South Korea has more odds in their favor to finish ahead of the Czechs, So I think this, how it's settled now, I think it's a good picture of Group A. I think, yeah. I agree,
I'm right with that. How many third places go through in this one?
8.
8. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's Group A. Tell you what I'll do. I'll do what I did before. I'll just put them all in first, and then we can discuss. Right.
Yeah.
So I'll start off with this group. I think for me, I know it's their home. They've been doing quite decent as well in qualifying. They've had some decent games, obviously, under Jesse Marsh, who's, credit where credit's due. He seems to be doing quite well with Canada. So they'll be in and around it. I think 2 underrated squads in this are Switzerland and Bosnia. I've already mentioned Bosnia.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
I need a drink. You continue, Andre.
No worries. I agree with that. I think, honestly, Canada, of course, if you look at the players up front and offensive players, like Ismail Kone in the middle, very good season for Sassuolo. Of course, Jonathan and Promise David, Eustachio, experience now. Then the Alfie Jones at the back, they have Bombito, there were rumors about him missing out the World Cup, but he's still in the squad as I look at it now. So yeah, I think they have good players, but they have key certain areas, especially the defense. Of course they have Alfonso Davies, but I think he will play a more offensive role. Very good strikers: Oluwaze from Villarreal, Promise David, Jonathan David.
Good attack, yeah.
Yeah, good attack, but the rest of the team, apart from probably Ismail Kone, that's a player that I would like Leeds to have a look at. I think, honestly, in the summer from Sassuolo, I don't see a lot.
Yeah.
So I think Switzerland, looking at the name of the players, they have Okafor too, Xhaka, Freuler, all these players. I think Switzerland will win the group. Bosnia second placed, Canada third, and Qatar fourth for me. That's my prediction, honestly. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, Switzerland have a really good squad. Just looking through it, obviously mentioned Amenda, a guy we both really like, centre back that we'd like at Leeds. I thought it'd be a really good player for us. Yeah, Kanji next to him. That's a solid partnership, to be fair. Looking through, yeah, I mean, Granit Xhaka, a good experience. Obviously, Jashari.
Yeah, from AC Milan, yeah.
Manzambi as well. One of the, I mean, he's been
Manzambi,
ridiculous this year. Yeah, good
we
young player
mentioned
for
him
Freiburg.
last summer. Then he exploded basically.
Yeah, true. And then, like you said, I mean, Christian Fasnacht, obviously. Oh, sorry, it's the brother of
No, it's him.
No, wait.
It's the one that used. Yeah, it's the one used to be at Norwich. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, yeah. I forgot. I didn't realize it was that old. Yeah, obviously experienced now. He's had a really good season as well in Switzerland. So they have a good mix of experience and young players, obviously. And then they've got, I mean, looking at their attack here, it's pretty decent, to be fair. You've got Noah Okafor, who's had a good end to the season in the Premier League. Ruben Vargas, who's always pretty decent at tournaments. Dan Ndoye, Breland Bolo. It's a good attack. So yeah, I think I agree with that. So we're agreeing Switzerland first.
Yeah.
What about second and third and fourth? Are we going Qatar bottom?
Qatar bottom, yeah.
Just obviously due to big names, big players who play in high leagues. If they did anything in this group, fair play to them, it'd be a really good achievement.
Yeah.
But it's second and third for me. Oh, right. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Lopetegui is the manager. Yeah.
So do you want to keep it like this, or do you want to swap them two around?
I think Bosnia will go too directly, honestly, as the.
I agree.
Yeah. I think Bosnia in the top two because I think they have more intensity and more balance all around in terms of defense and attack compared to Canada. So I think Canada will finish third, and Bosnia second. Bosnia second for me.
And that, to be fair, that'd be a good achievement for Canada. Obviously it's their home, but I mean, Switzerland and Bosnia have two really good squads with players playing at the high levels in Europe. Canada have a few in there, obviously, that we've mentioned, but I think, they have a lot more depth, Switzerland, and particularly Switzerland. They have ridiculous depth. So, I think that's good. This one, I like this one. Honestly, mate, I don't mind the order I've put it in by accident.
I agree. I agree. I agree completely. I think we should leave it immaculate as it is. Honestly, I think it should be.
All right.
It looks like, apart from Norway, it looks completely. It's exactly the same group as France 1998 with just Haiti instead of Norway. So I think they finished like that with Norway going through. In that case, but in this case, I think Brazil won the group. Morocco is better than Scotland for me all around. The names that we've seen, for them. Just to mention a few, looking at now, Abde, of course, is missing the World Cup. But if you look at the rest of the looking at the starting 11, Hakimi, Helanawi, Brahim Diaz, Unai, Masraoui, Riyad from Diop, to Premier League centre backs, and Bunu. So I think they have a lot of talent, and even on the bench, Bouadi, Talbi, Saibari, Elwadi. Yeah, plenty of talent. Plenty of talent. So Salah,
the lads,
El Kanous.
I can't pronounce his name, but there's Gessim Yassim as well, who signed from Dunkirk earlier on this season.
You mentioned him too.
Strasbourg.
With Bardelli too. You mentioned these two from Dunkirk. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll have a thingy season next year. I think it'll be his time next season. But I can't say his name, obviously, for Frankfurt he plays. Ayoub is his first name, so we'll stick with that because his last name is very long.
I'm Amaimouni. Yeah, Amaimouni.
Yeah, Amaimouni, and then there's another part of it which my English accent cannot pronounce. But anyway, he's probably he's had very sporadic season in terms of he's come off the bench for 10, 15 minutes for Frankfurt. but he's looked so dangerous. So dangerous. He's definitely one we are seeing to watch out next season in terms of wingers. For Frankfurt, he'll do really well next year. He's really appeared on the scene this year in the second half of the season. So, yeah, I mean, that Morocco team is a joke. Brahim Diaz as well. Yeah, it's just a joke, honestly. It's an absolute joke of a team.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if they top it. I think Brazil will, but I think them two will be really close. And I can't wait for that game between them. That'll be a good game. But yeah, we'll leave that one there because obviously I don't want us to go for 40 minutes on each
absolutely,
group.
absolutely.
There's a lot to get through this year.
Yeah.
Group D, and I'll just put them in. Group D. Hard one this for me, you know.
I think it's hard because it's really, apart from Turkey, I think that, look at them: Ildiz, Arda Güler, Kadioglu, Çalhanoğlu. Yeah, plenty of good. So Yunchu, not starting, of course, this season. This time, not this season, of course. It's a tournament, it's not a season. But yeah, Çalhanoğlu, Ildiz, Güler, Ilmaz, Aktürkoğlu, so Çelik. Yeah, very good squad with Montella as the manager. I think Turkey for me will top the group.
Okay.
It's between, I think, Australia. I have Australia ahead of Paraguay. So I think Paraguay will miss out. Australia in the top two. I know it's a very long stretch for me, but I think Turkey, Australia, USA, and Paraguay. That's what I have in my head, Don't know about you, because Australia is underrated. I think they are underrated.
Yeah.
Australia for me.
I'm stuck between these, honestly. Obviously, home advantage, and USA do have a good squad. Let's not deny it. They have some good players, but is there any standout players in that team? I'm not too sure. Pulisic, for example, he's not had a good season this year.
No, very bad.
Yeah, and he's their star guy, so I think it'll be tough. I think it'll be tough for him. I like Australia. I think they've got some really good. Obviously, you mentioned a few of the guys from the Championship as well who have had good seasons.
Sutar
too. Few playing in Serie A as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm all right with it that way. I don't mind it.
Okay.
I do. I have a feeling this could happen though. But
yeah,
I think we'll give them a home advantage. I've been a bit harsh on them this video so far, USA. So we'll give them second place. They are a good team. They have some good players. Absolutely. So we'll do that. I don't mind that. You happy with that?
Yeah, absolutely fine. Even this one group here, I think is pretty. Yeah, it's Germany top. I think between Ecuador and Ivory Coast. Despite Curaçao being in good form, recently they are going. I've seen a video of them embarking the plane to go to the World Cup. Dancing with the pilot. It's like a party. I think they're going to the World Cup to have a good time, probably. Like it's because it's the first time, so they want to really enjoy the tournament. Ecuador and Ivory Coast is a good battle because Ecuador, of course, Hincapié, Estupinian, some good players, but I think Ivory Coast all around is better than Ecuador. Looking at the players that we mentioned, if I look at the starting 11 of the two teams, of course, Ecuador, the players Ordóñez, Hincapié, Estupinian, Pacho from PSG, of course, Yeboah had an insane season for Venezia in Italian second tier. Gonzalo Plata and Valencia, he's still there, leading the line, and then Valencia. But Ivory Coast, Doué, quella due, of course, Kosunu, Ndika, Ghislain Konan, Kessie, Sangaré, Fofana, Diallo, Gessan, Diomande. I think overall, Ivory Coast, and they have Pepe off the bench too. So I think overall, second place for me, Ivory Coast, mate.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you just look at that. You just mentioned there. Yeah, I do. I think you just mentioned, you just named them. Ivory Coast have ridiculously good depth as well. Really good options. There's a lot of good players in that team that probably won't start, which is crazy. So, yeah, I hope I hope Curacao can cause an upset in that group. That'd be so good. But I don't think so.
Spice the things a bit,
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be so good. So yeah, I think we agree. Germany will probably top the group. It's a good group though. I like that group. Looking at it, I like that group a lot. There's a lot of good little games in there. So we'll go on Group F now. Just thinking while I get a drink again.
I think this will have a surprise. I think Japan will top the group for me.
Okay.
Then Netherlands, Sweden, third. Because remember, Sweden got qualified to the playoffs with Graham Potter. They have a decent squad. They have Gudmundsson, of course, Gyökeres, Isak, Elanga. But they struggled a lot big time, before Potter came in. They had a terrible qualifying campaign. They qualified to the playoffs through the Nations League, So I think there are still issues, for them. There are still issues for them in that team, They did well in the two playoff games. They have a decent squad again. Lagerbielke, Svensson, Ian, Ajari, Karlstrom, Bergwall. Yeah, decent squad. Nygren from Celtic. But I think Japan will cause the shock for me. Netherlands will go through because look at the top line. Depay, Malen, and Gakpo. Sweden third.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I don't mind the order at all. Honestly, I'm just looking at. I'm trying to look at the Tunisia squad, and Sabri Lamouchi is the
manager.
The manager. Some of you guys will remember.
And they have Hannibal. They have Hannibal.
They have Hannibal. Not some bad names in there, but nothing really that stands out. Players playing in top leagues, really. There's not too many. Trying to look through.
Shkiri, probably.
Yeah. Talby as well for Lorient. I quite like the centre back. He's pretty decent player. He's pretty solid.
Garby,
but yeah, not too many. Not too many names, to be fair. Ismail Gabi, yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm all right with that, honestly.
I want to explain also Netherlands. The Netherlands usually at the World Cup, they have a game they bottle, so that's why I have them in second,
Yeah, I think Japan are going in on good form, consistent team, a lot of good depth as well. Netherlands are always a bit funny. You never know what you're going to get, do you, really? They're a bit strange like that. They're a bit like England in a certain extent. You never really know what you're going to get. So, yeah, I don't mind that. Group G. Put them in. Ooh.
You go first. Leave you the reins for this.
I don't think Egypt are the team they were maybe 2 World Cups ago. Obviously they've got Mo Salah, but he's aging now. Just top of my head, I can't think of any other real stars in that team.
Abdel Karim, the youngster that was playing for Barcelona B, and now they have activated the option to buy now from Al Ahly.
Mamouche, obviously.
Marmouche, yeah. Even Iran, they're going. Yeah, but also the other one playing at Hassan Oviedo.
Yeah, the fullback.
Yeah. Isam Hassan, the striker.
All right, okay.
But yeah,
honestly, just looking for the squads there. Apologies. I don't think the New Zealand squad is great. Honestly, I think Belgium are quite lucky in this sense because I think they'll get through the group. I actually think they'll win it. I don't think they'll be flattering. I've got a feeling they're going to go through though. I don't mind that order. What do you think about that? I think Egypt and Iran are quite similar in level, to be fair.
I think Egypt has the advantage on Iran, because in terms of Marmouche, Salah. Yeah, I think also Iran, they have very difficult preparations, in the build-up to the tournament. They didn't have the visas till late, because of course of the geopolitical situation with the USA and with the conflict, in the Strait of Hormuz. So, and they left out for very specific reasons too, and it's only it's really unfortunate that Atmoun hasn't been called up for Team Melli. That's Iran, of course. But I think Egypt will go ahead because the only stars that even Golizade is missing, for Iran. They have Taremi, of course, but all the others they have called up Eckert, that was now adopted the name of Darkhai. Eckert playing for Southern Liège, because he has he had Iranian passport,
Right.
so they called him up, but all the others play in the Iranian league, that has been stopped for quite a while now because of the conflict. So they don't
Right.
have the match fitness. I know some of them like Esatolai, for example. Jahan Bash used to play for Brighton. Maybe I'm sure you remember him now playing in
I remember,
Belgium. Ajizafi, Bayram Van, played have his experience because they have played already in previous World Cups. Godosh used to play for Brentford, plays now in the UAE, same as Gayedi. But I think the whole situation with the league being stopped, and Azmoun missing the World Cup, hasn't been called up for non-technical reasons, I think Egypt will finish ahead of Iran, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all right with that. We'll leave it there. I was just looking through the Belgium squad. It's still a decent team, to be fair. You've got Courtois in there, obviously. Munier, Thiat, De Winter, Disciple. That's a good back four, to be fair. I like that back four. Unana, Talismans, obviously De Bruyne in midfield, Doku, Lukaku, and Trossard. You'd imagine that even that 11 is good enough to get through this group and probably top it as well. So, yeah, I'm all right with that. Now, this one I like. This one I've been looking at for a while. I like this group. But what order will they finish in? Go on, I'll let you start with this, Andre.
I think the top two, as it is, Spain first and Uruguay second. I think Cape Verde will shock Saudi Arabia and finish third ahead of them, honestly. Because a lot of them, play in Portugal. But Livramento used to play in Italy for Verona. I know him. Then there's Nuno da Costa, Ryan Mendes playing in Turkey. Mendes, probably you remember him when he used to play for Lille, was it? Yeah, Lille. There's plenty of players that have been called up that have maybe Cape Verde parents, There's Pico Lopez from Shamrock Rovers, because his dad is Portuguese with Cape Verdean origins, so that's why he plays for them. But yeah, I think they can cause the shock. They can cause the shock because of course looking at Saudi Arabia, they still have like Al Dafsari, Saud Abdulhamid, very good season for Lens, but yeah, despite the fact that they have a star-struck league, full of superstars in Saudi Arabia, the majority of the superstars are, of course, foreigners. So
yeah,
I think Cape Verde can shock them.
Yeah, I agree. And then, like I said, with the Uruguay squad, there's a mix of stars and probably underrated talent that's had really good years in there as well. So yeah, look at the back two of Jimenez and
Araujo. Yeah. Ronaldo Araujo.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm dying. Jimenez and Araujo, yeah. But then you've got Valera at the back, Oliveira at the other side, Ugarte, Valverde, obviously a very good player. And then Urejo, who will play probably, I don't know what formation Bielsa will play, but he's really good, really underrated fullback / wingback / winger. He's so versatile. Nunez at top as well. They've got some really good players in there. And I think they'll be a typical Bielsa side. I think they'll be difficult to play against. They'll work super hard, obviously. I think there'll be too much for probably Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde in that league. So I can see them finishing second based on that, just based on how hard they play.
Like a split group, mate. In a certain sense, the top two are just a league of their own, and the last two are
too good.
Oh yeah.
So I think we'll leave it at that. I think obviously we don't need to say too much about Spain. Obviously, they're ridiculous everywhere. I mean, the midfield of Gavi, Javi, and my brain has gone blank, mate. I'm so ill.
Fabian
There's
Ruiz,
so many. There's Ruiz, there's Pedri, there's Gavi,
Gavi,
there's my
Subimendi,
brain. Yeah, my brain. Rodri.
Rodri. Yeah,
I forgot Rodri. So this is what I mean. There's so many in there. Obviously, Yamal. There's so many players in there that are absolute joke. So they'll be a serious team this tournament, I think, and they'll definitely win the league. Uruguay will get through the Bielsa way in second. But yeah, group. What are we on now? Group I.
Group I. Yeah.
Ooh, I don't think it'll end the way I put it. Let's clarify. Group
Yeah.
I is again. I said this a lot, but I like this group actually. Also, you got Senegal, obviously the Africa Cup of Nations winners, Norway, who have a good team. I think they're going to achieve a lot this. Well, they're going to over exceed this this World Cup, in my opinion. Iraq, not a few bad names in there. I'll get the team up in a second. I'll have a good look.
Many expertise, or many players that play, that have Iraqi parents, come from maybe Hal Ahmadi, for example, from Luton.
Is Zidane Iqbal in there as well?
Yeah, Zidane Iqbal, from Utrecht.
Yeah.
I know he was born in the UK, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was born in the UK.
He was at Man
There's
United
plenty
when he was
born
young,
in.
I believe.
Yeah, and there's plenty playing, and Ali Jassim playing in the Saudi League, Jakob Sher, there's plenty Farage from Venezia, plenty that were born like in Scandinavia that are playing for Iraq because of their parents or grandparents, so people look at Iraq and say, oh, just one of these teams that make it once in a while. But right now, every team, that makes to the World Cup has one or two decent players in there, because of especially the passports, because of there's plenty of players that were born in Europe but maybe play for their parents or grandparents' country, and that's why every team has one or two good players, and that applies also to Senegal, because there's plenty of players that were born in France. My idea, mate, to be fair, is France first. Can be also Norway, because I think Norway can play. Maybe it ends in a draw, with France. Right. I think Norway will suffer more in the game against Senegal. But my idea is France first, Norway second, Senegal third, and Iraq last.
Okay. So I'm just looking at the Senegal squad as well. I mean, Mamadou Sarr at Chelsea, Diakite, Moussa Diakite at Lyon, Antoine Mendy at Nice. I mean, they've still got Koulibaly still there, Diouf. Experience. Diouf, of course, who we know of at West Ham. Adrissa Gueye, Lamine Camara, by the way, was really good for Monaco this year. Midfielder. Yeah. Habib Diarra.
Bamba Dieng.
Bamba Dieng. Then you got Papi Gueye as well, who plays in Spain. Pape Massar for Tottenham. I mean, they're a very good team.
For Como, insane player, mate. Honestly,
I'll Mbaye, who I mentioned before.
Koulibaly.
Yeah, Koulibaly. Iliman Ndiaye as well for Everton. They're a very good team. Jackson, Bamba Dieng, as you mentioned. Yeah. So what did you say, Andre? You said France to win it. Did you say this?
Norway second for me.
Norway second. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. What do you think?
See, I'd probably switch these two around, honestly. Okay. I don't mind that, though.
I think the physical factor for Norway, they will suffer against Senegal, but I see them getting a result against Senegal eventually, I think they can finish above Senegal. Senegal will be a problem to both them and France, honestly. I think France versus Norway can end in a draw, while the other ones, maybe France and Norway will beat Senegal, but would be a very, very, very hard result for them to get. Because especially look at France-Senegal, the last time they played against each other at the World Cup, Senegal won 1-0 in 2002.
Yeah.
When France were Cup winners, and a lot of players for Senegal play in France, so they know them. I don't know, honestly. Yeah, probably let's put Senegal in second, because let's put Senegal in second. Yeah, I think Senegal might shock France again, or might get the result, even 1 point against France. So for that reason, let's put them at and Norway third. But yeah, my
Mm.
first one first. It's between them and Norway, for the second place. But let's follow
Yeah,
you and
I agree.
put Senegal in second. Yeah,
It's three super strong teams. To be fair, poor Iraq in that group. That's a hard group. Very hard. You got obviously the World Cup winners. You've got the African Cup of Nations winners, and then you've got Norway, who have Haaland and some other very good players. So
yeah.
if they can get anything out of that, fair play to them. Group J. Group J. Group
Argentina
J.
first. Argentina first, of course.
I agree.
Then yeah, I like this because Algeria have plenty of good players, because if you look at them, let's mention some names, of course, Amoura, Mahrez,
Yeah.
Boudaoui from Nice, Ait Nouri, Ben Sabaini, but then Gedjemis from Frosinone, underrated, Maza from Bayer Leverkusen, but looking at the recent record,
Haji
Haji
Musa.
Musa, of course,
Yep.
Taibi, Guiri, yeah, plenty of good players, but I think Austria has a better group all around, looking at the positions, So, and Algeria haven't been great in the last tournaments they've played at, so I think it'll end like this with Jordan last, unfortunately for them, because they have one good player, Altamari from Rennes. Then all of them, I don't know about them, honestly. I'll be very, very honest. All the other the Jordanian players, I know nothing about them, honestly.
Yeah, I'm just looking through here. You've got Ibrahim Nazar, you got Fares Chabi from Frankfurt, who's had a really good season in midfield. Yeah, Haj Musa is one of the best wingers in Europe. He's just so good. I mean, mentioned him last year with Paixão, and yeah, he's been even better this season. Such a good player. Yeah, Amoura, yeah, you mentioned. Yeah, it's a tough one. Just looking at this Algeria squad, it's actually there's more players in there than I could remember. Actually, that's a good squad. But looking back to this, we've already spoke about Austria early on in the thing. There's a lot of good players in that Austria team, and I agree. Austria are a really good side. They have a very good identity. They press high. They work really hard. They drive with the ball. There's a lot of ball carriers in that team. A lot of good technicians as well. I think they'll be an underrated team in this World Cup. So yeah, again, not done my research on Jordan, which I apologise for, but I don't have so much time to look. But this is a hard one. You know what? We'll go with that.
Okay.
We'll go with that. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Okay,
Group
good.
K.
Portugal first.
Yeah, go on. I'll let you kick this one off.
Yeah, Portugal first, Colombia second. Because of course we talked about Portugal, but Colombia. Yeah, I think they might have problems against DR Congo, honestly. But looking at the squad of Colombia, Daniel Munoz from Palace, Lukumi, Polonia, Luis Diaz, of course, Richard Rios from Benfica, James Rodriguez, Mojica from Mallorca, Luis Suarez from Sporting, Davinson Sanchez, Jefferson Lerma, good squad. Yerry Mina too, still there. So yeah, I think they might have problems against DR Congo. Even Uzbekistan, if you look at them, they have Kuzanov, Faizullayev, and Shomurodov. These are the top three, teams. All the others play either in the Emirates, Iran, or Uzbekistan. So despite Cannavaro, I think they'll finish last. DR Congo, on the other hand, I think they have Sadiki, of course, a good friend, Tanzebi, Wan-Bissaka, Mutusami, some old FIFA legends, like Bongonda and Kakuta, Kayembe, all these players, but Bakambutu, Vissa from Newcastle, Kayembe from Watford, Masuaku. But yeah, realistically, I think Portugal, Colombia, DR Congo, and Uzbekistan, in terms of team levels.
Macau as well from Lille. Midfielder. Pretty good player. I like him. He's had a really good season. Yeah. Tough one, this one, honestly. So do you want to swap these two around?
Yeah. exactly. But I
Okay.
think DR Congo have a chance against Colombia, honestly.
Mm,
But I think Colombia will make it to second eventually for me.
mm. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Richard Rios as well. You mentioned he was such a good player, so underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, Portugal took
Yeah.
the league, I think. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Right.
So your
That's all
group.
that matters. Done.
Yeah. Done.
Done.
England.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, England first. Croatia second, Ghana third, and Panama last for me.
Ghana not necessarily the team that used to be. I remember Ghana back in the day. They used to have a really good squad.
Yeah.
With like Asamoah Gyan and Ayew, and yeah, Ghana were really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Look at it now. They've got Fatawu, obviously Naki Williams. Ayew's still there. Asante's had a decent season. Semenyo. Yeah, still a good squad as well. The young lad, I can never pronounce his name. Caleb Urenkai from Norgeland. From Norgeland, yeah.
Yeah, Yerenki, yeah.
Urenkai, yeah, from Norgeland, yeah. He's a good young
Yeah.
midfielder. Yeah, not a bad team. Not a bad team, yeah.
Yeah, but not what they used to be, like you said,
Not
because
what it used to be,
eventually
no.
IU, of course, they have Semenyo. There's also, Fatawu, Partey. Yeah, these players, even Sulemana. Yeah, decent team, but they're not what they used to be for me. They're not what they used to be. So yeah, I think the struggle. I think the main problems for you will be Croatia because for the top of the group. I mean, of course, because the defense of Croatia, of course, Vuskovic is a top player.
Yeah.
We'll see him next season with Spurs. But apart from they play with Shutalo, I don't really rate him, to be fair, next to him, or Chalitazar. I think it's better Chalitazar than Gvardiol and Stanisic, good fullbacks. Then Modric, then I have Baturina. Up front, then I have Budimir, I think, so, or Matanovic. The two Sucic, the cousins, Petar and Luka. Pasalic, Perisic, Vlasic, Kramaric, Kovacic. Yeah, the usual, but I think a lot of these players, especially Kovacic, Kramaric, Modric, Perisic, they have been there for ages.
Yeah.
So I think there are some good players, but the one making the core team are still the veterans, So I think you have more fuel than them. So for me, England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that as well. You know what we found actually in this? The top team is we've found quite easy. It's the second and third, but we struggled with really.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So now we have to pick the top 8. Now we have to pick.
Okay.
So for me,
should we get the obvious ones done? Norway,
yeah. That's one.
Yeah. Sweden.
Yeah. Okay. Let's bring them. Sweden, Ecuador,
yeah. You think Australia,
yeah.
Yeah.
Algeria, Canada.
Okay. Canada.
So that's 6. 2 left.
2 left.
Scotland, yeah. Yeah. They'll win against Tahiti, so they'll have 3 points. But yeah,
Scotland.
I think, then between Czechia and DR Congo for me.
So who have they got? Who have Czechia got?
Probably DR Congo.
Where's DR Congo? They're down here.
Uzbekistan, Colombia. Maybe 4 points.
Yeah.
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 Don't know. Would you want to pick?
Well, not Ghana.
I think they maybe have 3 points, against Panama, but yeah, look, maybe Congo, I don't know. It's tough. It's really tough.
It's tough. Who have Scotland got? Let me just check something real quick.
Morocco, Haiti, and Brazil.
Yeah, that's 3 points. Australia, yeah.
A lot of them will have 3 points, but they will go down to goal difference. So that's the problem, So I think we should play it safe and pick the Czechs, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, let's play it safe, the Kingdom Come Deliverance way. So we have reached the knockout stages. We have to switch to this one to let you see the full bracket. It's on Bain in this case, not the Telegraph. So that's why you see the timeline, the time zone of Mecca. That's why. So yeah, actually we selected, like you saw, the top tier, third place team. So this is the result on the round of 32. So the first one is Germany, who won their group against a third place team in Australia, who goes through mate. I think we can agree Germany probably in this case.
Yeah.
Germany.
Like this Australian squad, honestly, but yeah, I'd stay Germany. Yeah.
France against Sweden, third place team again. I think in this case it's more open, Sweden can cause can cause probably an upset in this case, but I see France go through honestly because the Due, Barcola, Mbappé, Dembélé, I think they can cause problems to the trio of Lagerbielke, Ian, and Lindelof. Because Sweden play with a back three in many cases, they can switch to a back four. But they usually have Lagerbielke, Ian, and Lindelof with Gudmundsson and Svensson on as wing backs. So what do we see? What do we say? France?
Yeah, I agree. France too much, but yeah, Gabby will try his best, but unfortunately, won't get through.
Yeah. Then the next one, South Korea, Bosnia. I'll say Bosnia, honestly. I'll say Bosnia.
Yeah, I think Bosnia are the underrated team. I think they'll get through to the quarters. I think it's the round 16 at least. So this bracket's really hard actually. And then the next game,
because these two matchups, these are first placed against second place. No, So no, in this case it's second place against second place, second versus second, and first versus second.
Okay.
So you see how intricate it is,
Yeah, it's crazy.
The matchups, You know what, mate? I think Japan will go through a bit Morocco in this case. What about you?
I'm not sure I agree. Just Morocco's so stacked. I think Japan are a really good side, I do. But I just think Morocco were seriously underrated.
So are Japan.
I know.
Because look at the defense. Ito, Itakura, Sugawara. So the midfield match, it would be very, very good too, Sano. But yeah.
Just looking. Yeah, then you've got Sabiri, Unai, Babadi, Amara as well. Maziri, Hakimi. Not great centre backs though. I don't love the centre backs, to be honest.
Okay, let's say it goes to penalties and Morocco goes through. Okay.
Oh, that's a hard one though. That is a hard one. That's a hard one. I think that'd be a great game to watch, honestly.
Yeah. So next one,
Croatia.
I think here we will see an upset.
Okay.
It's two second place team again, Colombia and Croatia. I think Colombia will cause huge problems. Luis Diaz, James, Suarez. They will cause huge problems to the Croatian defense.
Rios in midfield as well.
Yeah, I think Colombia will go through in this one, especially because they are more accustomed to the climate too. I have them also. For that factor, you have a lot of very old age Croatian player,
Yeah.
Modric, Kovacic, Perisic. So we agree on
Colombia, I'm all right
with
that. Yeah, we'll go Colombia.
Spain against Austria. I think it will be open in the sense that Austria will put up a fight, but eventually Spain for me.
Yeah, I was gonna try and spice things up with that, but Spain are just we've mentioned some of the players previously that they're an absolute joke. They should win. I really like Australia and the way they play whenever I've watched them. Some good individuals in there as well. Some good team spirit, work really hard, press high. But yeah, Spain should go almost all the way, to be honest. So they should win this game for sure.
Yeah. I think this one
Turkey,
is
Canada.
I think Turkey works all over Canada, honestly, with the squad, honestly, for me. I'm looking at 3-1, 4-1, honestly, in this case. There's a big gap between the two squads for me. So Turkey, yeah, for me.
Logically, I'd say Turkey. I've just got a feeling one of the home nations will have a moment where they go against the odds. Could it be this game? You know what? We'll go on.
I don't think so in this case, honestly. I think Turkey, Güler, Ildiz, Aktürkoğlu. So Arda Güler, yeah, plenty of good players up front. Çalhanoğlu, Yüksek, of course, Kone. But yeah, I think Turkey will go through here.
Yeah, go on then.
Turkey, okay. Belgium, Czechia. I think eventually Belgium will go through there, but yeah, it's still another 50-50 in this case for me.
Yeah, Belgium obviously not the team they used to be, are they at all? Not the team. Really wasted their golden generation. They had an insane squad. Really wasted that. Yeah, I agree. I think they'll probably stink it through, honestly. I think they'll just get through that one.
Yeah.
Brazil, Netherlands.
So, look at this one.
Oh. It's getting serious now. Brazil.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have, Netherlands, yeah, they have the better team overall, They have the better team overall. Every time there's a matchup between a South American and a European one, in this case, I'm picking the South American one. So, this would be nice, honestly.
I can't wait. If this is the game, I can't wait for this. Yeah. This will be good.
This will be good.
I'm edging Senegal.
Yeah, I agree.
But just edging it. Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
Mexico, Scotland.
By a very tight margin, though.
Yeah. I'm going Mexico, sorry.
Yeah, Scotland. Same for me. Oh, England, Norway.
Maybe. Oh, that's hard. Oh. Of course I'm going England. It won't be easy.
I think Norway. I think Norway, but we'd go England. We'd go England in this case, but
Norway did not be us, not a chance.
I think Norway has a chance to beat you if they face you. But yeah, the fact that you've reached two European finals is the first tournament, after 26 years. So let's say England in this case. Then we'll see on the pitch. Oh, look at this one. The Rio de la Plata derby.
Oh my days. This romance where Bielsa does really well, but it's such a hard one. That'll be a great game again. That is going to be a really good game. Imagine that is going to be feisty. That is going to be, if this happens, this is going to be an insane match. But obviously, I'm going to go with Argentina.
Yeah, but remember that.
Don't put it past Bielsa to get something from that game. Do not put it past him. Not one bit.
Yeah. And in the qualifiers, that's where they really played very well against Argentina.
Yeah.
That's when they
true.
They played really well. Sorry, the light is going.
True.
So that's why I'm doing this. USA, Egypt. I'm saying USA to be fair.
Yeah. USA.
Yeah. Argentina against USA. Switzerland, Algeria. With all due respect to Algeria, we have a good squad. I think Switzerland are already in that tier B in terms of European teams. So I'm saying Switzerland. Yeah. Portugal.
And Portugal.
Yeah.
Yep.
So round of 16, Germany versus France.
Oh my days. I hate this.
Yeah.
France are weird, because France have such a good squad, but they never really play as well as they can. I remember even when they beat us a few years ago,
Yeah.
they were not great. We obviously Kane missed a penalty.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what, mate? I'm saying Germany.
Should we do it? Yeah. Should we cause a bit
Yeah,
of a?
let's do it.
Yeah. Why
Of,
not? Why not?
let's steer the pot, Let's stir the
Their reign
pot.
has to end at some point. Why not be now?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Morocco.
Ooh.
Morocco for me, mate.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Looking
go
at how they
Morocco.
played against us, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Bosnia is solid, but they leave gaps, especially in the middle. I think the battle in midfield here, the Morocco midfield will cause huge problems if that's the case, to the Bosnian one. Spain, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's always feisty, because there's the Latin derby, Latin America versus Spain, they know each other. They're very similar in terms of the way they live football, but yeah, Spain. I'm saying Turkey, mate, here, honestly. I think Belgium won't reach the quarterfinals in one way or another, honestly.
I think Belgium.
Belgium. I think
Do you know
Turkey,
what? We'll go Turkey. We'll go Turkey.
Okay.
We'll go Turkey.
Let's go Turkey. Let's go with Turkey in this case.
Yeah. Ooh.
Brazil for me.
I like this one. This is a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then.
Brazil. Mexico, England.
Oh, we've got a hard run in here. That's part of it. You've got to get through this hard running to win the tournament. So that means we've got Brazil next in the quarters. Yeah.
So England. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ronaldinho, the ghost, is appearing again. Argentina versus USA.
Argentina. Yeah. For me.
Switzerland, Portugal.
Portugal.
Portugal, but tough game for them.
Tough. Yeah.
Germany, Morocco. Another tight one, but I'm edging towards Germany. Yeah. What do you say? Germany, semi-final.
Yeah.
Spain, Turkey. Yeah, I think Spain in this case. Yeah. Brazil, England. You know what I'm saying, so I know what I'm saying.
All right. Okay. All right.
Explain me why England. Explain me why England will get past Brazil to convince me.
No, I have no logical reason. Just then because we're amazing. But no. Right. What we'll do is because I've given my silly prediction at the start where I said England are going to win it. So we'll do this logically. We won't be silly about this. We'll do it properly. All right. You go Brazil. We'll go with that.
Okay.
We'll go with your answer.
But I think the way you approach the game in this case will be clinical. If you go out and press Brazil, it will cause them problems. If you wait for them in a more conservative way, I think you will have problems. Because I'm looking at O'Reilly and James versus Rafinha and Vinicius, and then you have the centre backs, Gay and Konsa with either Igor Thiago or Cunha moving all around, because remember that Brazil, usually their starting lineup in this World Cup, let's see that, usually the way they play is a 4-2-4, with two number 6. So it's Alisson, Danilo, Marquinhos, Gabriel Magalhães, San Alexandro, Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes. Then you have Rafinha, Gabriel Martinelli, Vinicius, and Cunha. So it's like a 4-2-3-1 with one winger moving between the striker,
Yeah.
So
don't scare me, mate. We're winning a lot, but we'll go with Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with Brazil. Do you know what? Genuinely, do you know what? That Mexico game is going to be probably one of the hardest games.
Yeah.
Considering where we are and the environment, yeah, that'll be really hard.
Depends if you will be in the USA or in Mexico in that case, though. Looking at
true.
Yeah. In this case, mate, the awaited clash between Messi and Ronaldo, I think Portugal. Because Argentina, for me, they won't repeat what they did last time. I think Portugal will go past them, honestly, in this case. I think they will. I think they will. I think they will. They are more physical. They are overall. I think they're better. Of course, you look at Argentina, you see, okay, they are the world champions, but De Paul plays in the USA. Messi plays in the USA. They don't have Di Maria anymore. Another good fighter. Then they have Tagliafico, Molina, okay, great, very good football. But Tagliafico plays for Lyon. McAllister. I think the midfield battle, Portugal for me.
You convinced me. Yeah.
Germany, Spain.
Oh wow. I'm gonna go Spain.
I'm going Germany because I think they will get their revenge from 2 years ago. But yeah, I'll give you that though. Spain for the final.
Oh, there's always a good game, them two. It's always a good game. This one is insane. Oh my days.
Do you remember the commercial in 2004? With Figo, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Ole.
See, this should be England, but no, I'm joking.
I'm saying Portugal again, mate. I'm staying consistent. Brazil always have a game where they take the foot off the accelerator.
Yeah, Portugal.
Then in the final, Spain versus Portugal, the Iberic, the Iberian derby. I don't think Spain will win it again. For me, look at the Nations League. I think Portugal will win it for me. What do you say? We should play the rock paper scissors, to decide it.
I'm edging Spain.
I'm saying Portugal, and I still don't think they will. We can leave it like that, we can leave it like that. We can say, okay, if that's the case, lucky, if a Spain-Portugal final happens, Lucky will say Spain and Andrea will say Portugal.
Yeah, because we'll do more pods by this time. So if it gets to this point and they're still there, then before the final, we can discuss who we think's going to win it. How about that? Because I can't separate it. I'm saying Spain 100%. You're saying Portugal 100%.
Yeah. So that's the end. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. So yeah.
So yeah, we've gone with England winning the World Cup, so that's good. Yeah. So.
So yeah.
Yeah, like we're going to do another part with the players. We'll do that next time. We can do that next time. We've gone for 2 hours. We've had a good little period here. So I think we'll leave it there, mate. Honestly, good little intro to the World Cup. Some good discussion. Some terrible predictions on your part, I must say. But I'm joking, obviously. But yeah, I just can't wait for the World Cup.
If England win it, and you really need to hope that, I promise we will introduce the next spot after the England win with a full rendition by myself of 3 lines. I will do that. All right.
There we go. You have to wear an England shirt. How about that?
I don't have one. I think I have a Scottish one, an Irish one. I will usually it's one with the white, but yeah, I'll buy one. Okay, I'll buy one. I have any? I have. Yeah. No, I don't.
I don't even have one.
You don't?
Too expensive, mate. I can't afford it, honestly. But anyway, it's so
maybe when you were, because we used to
I
have
had loads
in Italy.
when I was young.
Yeah, exactly. Because there were the fake ones too, that were sold in the how do you call those? Where those stands, those paper stands, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The ones selling the papers that are a rarity, these days. There's not many left. These basically they are called edicola in Italian. In English, it's specifically news kiosk.
Oh, right. Okay.
Newsstand, of course. These newsstands that I don't think anymore in Italy, unfortunately, they are disappearing very fast, But they used to sell also the kits. The problem is that they weren't producing replica kits, the manufacturers. So you had, when you were buying them from the newsstand, they were the fake ones. There was just like
Right.
a blue shirt with your nation flag on it, and you were saying, "Oh yeah, the Piero kit," but it wasn't
I
the
bought
official
a
one.
when I went to Italy with school, I went to a market in Venice, and I bought a fake Man United top for my brother,
Yeah,
and I bought a fake Bayern Munich top for my brother as well.
yeah.
So
These were the
funny.
things. I still have them, by the way. I still have them somewhere. Probably in the garage. But yeah,
Yeah,
you were talking about expensive, but Venice. You mentioned Venice, most expensive town in Italy.
yeah, it was crazy, man, crazy stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, anyway, right, we'll leave it there. Thank you for the support as usual all season. A little different this week, but it is the World Cup, and we both love it. So we will be
yeah,
discussing different things every week. We'll talk about obviously what's happened, but we'll talk about certain players as well, players we like, all that kind of stuff. And obviously, if there's any lead stuff coming around, we will obviously speak about that as well. But yeah, thank you for all the support. We'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, I sound a little better. Yeah, see you guys in a bit. Bye bye.
bye. Have a good World Cup.